All right, y'all, we are back with another video. I definitely had to bring y'all this because it seemed like Jill Biden is in some big trouble. This woman pretty much knew that her husband should have never ran for president, especially back in 2021. He should have never ran. She already knew about his health issues, but yet her and the entire Democrats and the White House, everybody involved, covered up this man's health problems. And now, not only that, we got a doctor that came in on Morning Joe pretty much telling him that Joe Biden pretty much had prostate cancer the entire time. It just, the Democrats and of course Jill Biden covered everything up. Now I got an article I want to show y'all, and not only that, we just found out that it seemed like Joe Biden was asleep when them pardons was getting signed, and Jill Biden knew about that as well, that people in the White House was signing these pardons, and Joe Biden knew nothing about it and did it while he was asleep. And we're going to get to that video clip too as well. So, like I said, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody showing so much support, and shout out to the one who always stay to the end and let me know in the comment section that you did watch the entire video, because it definitely helps get the video out there. So I appreciate everybody that lets me know that they hit the like button, because that's very important, and watch the entire video. Thank you very much for that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight into it. So as y'all can see right here on the screen, it say elder abuse. DOJ officials calls for criminal charges against Jill Biden over Joe's health cover up. And like I said before, she knew all about it and said nothing. Not only that, even Leo Terrell went off on it. So everybody is calling for her to face criminal charges and to be arrested. So it's going to say a senior Department of Justice official had ignited a firestorm by suggesting former First Lady Jill Biden could face criminal charges for elder abuse over allegations she concealed Joe Biden's health issues, including a recent diagnosis of aggressive prostate cancer. Leo Terrell, senior counsel to the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights, made the explosive claim on X, reacting to a post asserting Jill Biden knew about her husband's deteriorating health but pushed him to run for president in 2024 regardless. Elder abuse criminal charges, Terrell wrote in response to a post that stated she knew about President Biden's health problems, but still wanted him to run for president. Just evil. So you can see right here, when Ian Yeager said she knew about President Biden's health problems, but still wanted him to run for president, and you can see Leo Terrell responding to elder abuse criminal charges. This woman knew all about it and absolutely said nothing. So let's keep it going. And then Terrell going to say, Terrell amplified similar sentiments, reposting a tweet that warns elder abuse is a form of domestic violence, and Dr. Biden has a lot of explaining to do about her part in defrauding the American people and taxpayers. His medical team should have caught this years ago. Shame on Jill and all who turned their heads and ignored this. Read another X post that the DOJ official shared. And like I said, Leo Terrell is not holding back at all about this, because they straight lied to the American people. Not only that, they tried to get him a run again right before they kicked him out and threw Kamala Harris up in there. Because you know what their whole plan was? They wanted Joe Biden to run. Hopefully, they thought he was going to win, and they was going to announce this prostate cancer thing and throw him out and insert Kamala Harris. That was their plan, but it failed. It failed. I don't care what anybody say. That right there was their plan for Joe Biden to run and hopefully beat President Trump. And they was going to announce this prostate cancer thing, and they was going to kick him out and install this woman. That's exactly what they was going to do, but it didn't work. So we're going to say the controversy erupted after Biden's office announced on Sunday that the 82-year-old scandal-plagued Democrat was diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer, characterized by a Gleason score of 9, with metastasis to the bone. And say the statement issued days after a routine exam revealed a prostate nodule, described the cancer as aggressive but hormone sensitive, allowing for effective management. Medical experts have raised eyebrows, with oncologist Dr. Foreman stating the cancer likely went undetected for years, as prostate-specific antigen tests should have showed signs earlier. Dr. Schussman, appearing on News Nation, suggested Biden may have known about the cancer for 5 to 10 years, calling an initial diagnosis at this stage highly unlikely. So, like I said, it still sounded like they knew about this but covered it up. Didn't take the man to the doctor. They didn't care. All they cared about was, being in charge, and they was using this man to try to do it. So, it's Biden's own doctor gave him a clean bill of health while the cancer supposedly tap danced across his bones for a decade. Biden's annual physicals from 2021 to 2025 conducted by White House physician Dr. Kevin O'Connell reported no concerns about PSA screening or cancer despite recommendation for men over 50 by the American Cancer Society. This omission had fueled speculation of a cover-up, with President Donald Trump asserting on Monday somebody is not telling the facts. And I agree with President Trump. Somebody's not telling the truth. Trump, who initially expressed sympathy, added, I think people should try and find out what happened because I tell you, I don't know if it had anything to do with the hospital. If you take a look at it's the same doctor that said Joe was cognitively fine. The president said, further questioning the timeline into O'Connell's claim of no new concerns with Biden's health. CNN host Jake Tapper details the effort by Biden's inner circle to mask a cognitive decline during his presidency in his book, Original Sin, released May 20th. Then go on to say, the book notes incidents like Biden forgetting George Clooney's name and Jill Biden shielding him from criticism, though it does not address the cancer diagnosis. Former Biden aide Michael LaRosa, speaking on Fox and Friends Weekend, described a culture of concealment in the White House, stating this was a group in the White House who was allergic to transparency. On Monday, Biden broke his silence about the controversy. Like I said, this woman right here knew about this. And not only her, even that cat knew about it. They knew about this. But like I said, seriously, Jill Biden knew about this. And like I said before, didn't say anything about it, kept it covered. So it's cancer touches us all. Like so many of you, Jill and I have learned that we are strongest in the broken places. Thank you for lifting us up with love and support. He wrote on X alongside a photo of himself sitting beside Jill and their cat Willow. No official DOJ action against Jill Biden has been announced, and the accusation remains speculative. Either the White House medical team is incompetent or they're auditioning for the next Watergate reboot. Meanwhile, the American people are left wondering who was really running the show, Jill Hunter or a Ouija board in the Oval Office. So this is another thing right here that I had wanted to show y'all. But like I said before, I don't have to keep saying it. We know there was a cover-up, a massive cover-up. And we know that these Democrats, we knew CNN, MSNBC, all of these people knew about it. And every time President Trump or any Republican, conservative, anybody called it out, they tried to call us a liar. Oh, y'all lying. There's nothing wrong with Joe Biden. Even Kamala Harris lied. She kept saying he's sharp. When they were asking her in interviews, she kept covering it up. He's sharp. He's sharp. But we literally see how the man was acting during a debate when Donald Trump destroyed him. He was just like looking all off. You can tell something was wrong. And they've been hiding it for years. So check this out right here. It's a cover-up. Ed Marseille's a whistleblower had exposed Biden's auto pen pardon scandal. The same machine's signed signature appears on pardons for Fauci and Milley, insiders named. Klain, Dunn, Bauer, Ricocchetti, and Jill Biden some lawyering up. Karma calls it the biggest scandal in U.S. history. Trump calls it treason. And like I said, people are calling for this. A D.C. police whistleblower told the FBI Biden wasn't at the White House when he allegedly signed pardons, with video proof of his exit. The auto pen was there. Who used it? This may invalidate all pardons. So that just goes to show you right there. Now, I want y'all to listen to this guy right here. He was on the show with Benny Johnson, and pretty much saying that, when this happened, Joe Biden was asleep. He didn't know anything about it. So check out this clip right here.
What do you think is the chances that people were getting paid for pardons here? Because 8,000 pardons is insane, Congressman.
Well, I mean, and, there's a whistleblower came forward saying that the pardons were being, signed when he would typically be asleep. So, it wasn't him. Although I don't have proof in front of me, I'm fairly certain that they were selling pardons out of the White House. And that would be staff, the machine, the library, whatever mechanism they were using. But I would be utterly shocked if that wasn't taking place.
Wow. Selling pardons out of the White House. And he's not the first person to say that. And like I said, now you got this whistleblower who just pretty much spilling the beans that this man was asleep when they was doing this. So who was doing it? Was it Kamala Harris? Not only that, they said Jill Biden knew about it. Of course, you know, because they pardoned their son Hunter for all the crimes and stuff that he did, and they pardoned him. But they said Jill Biden knew about it and allowed it to happen. Somebody's going to go down for it. So, as you can see right here, it's a breaking. Representative Mary Miller calls for Jill Biden to face criminal charges for elder abuse. This is what everybody is talking about. We're going to go through a few more. Biden's wife should be charged with elder abuse, senior DOJ official. It's pure evil. She reportedly knew he had dementia before he announced for the presidency in 2020, but she made him do it anyway. Joe is gone, a dementia-stricken blob, and she abused him for power and money. This is what everybody is saying. Elder abuse. DOJ official calls for criminal charge against Jill Biden over Joe's health cover-up bill. Another one. Would you support elder abuse charge against Jill Biden? Because like I said, pretty much saying Leo Terrell to the assistant AG for civil rights claimed Jill Biden could face criminal charges for alleged elder abuse of Joe Biden. Terrell said that Jill Biden hid Joe Biden's health decline during his presidency and pushed him into demanding re-election campaign for political gain, potentially causing him undue stress. It's very obvious Jill Biden likes power and wanted to stay. Even now, she's trying to regain some relevance by propping him up on The View. She is pathetic. And that was kind of crazy to send that man on The View. And then, like I said, it just one thing out of another. He just blanking out, can't remember anything. And then every time they ask him something, he can't answer. Jill Biden had to step in. So they still using this man. Still using him. And this is another one when I was saying that she was pretty much treating this man like he was a kid. Yes, Joe, you answered all the questions. And Joe just looking at her smiling. It's like, you sound like you talking to a kid. Like you'll never hear Melania tell President Trump, yes, President Trump, you answered all the questions. That right there would never happen. That would never happen. So if a lot of you don't remember when Jill Biden did this, check this out.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts. And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do? Lied!
My God. My God. Yes, Joe, you answer all the questions. And what did Trump do? It's like she's treating the man like he's a kid. She knew from that point on right there that something was wrong with this man. It's like, come on. Now, this is one of the last clips that I want to show y'all. That this doctor pretty much shocks Morning Joe, pretty much letting them know that Joe Biden likely had this at the start of his presidency in 2021, but yet Jill Biden covered it up. The Democrats covered it up. They all knew about it. Even like I said, we were saying something about it. And these was the same people that was calling us liars to our face. Anytime somebody went on CNN and tried to call it out, they called him a liar. They would interrupt. Look what Scott Jennings go through when he was calling it out. They kept calling Scott Jennings a liar. And now that they finally come out, now they quiet. Nobody want to step up. So check this out right here by Red Wave Press. He said Dr. Ezekiel Manuel shocks Morning Joe host Joe Scarborough by revealing President Biden did not just develop prostate cancer. He likely had it at the start of his presidency in 2021. So check this out.
You believe it is likely, if this prostate cancer has spread to the bone, that he could have had it for up to a decade, but certainly it's likely. Would it be fair to say it's likely to have had this for at least several years?
Oh, more than several years. You don't get prostate cancer.
So I just want to stop you. So this is not speculation. If you have prostate cancer that is spread to the bone, then he's most certainly, you were saying, had it when he was president of the United States.
Oh, yeah. He did not develop it in the last 100, 200 days. He had it while he was president. He probably had it at the start of his presidency in 2021. Yes, that I don't think there's any disagreement about that.
And
wow.
And I'm just curious again, if your doctor to a president of the United States that is a male that is an older man, would a prostate test, and again, we're just talking about a PSA screening, a blood test that you could do along with all the other blood tests. It's not even that it would be intrusive. Would this not be one of the first tests that you would conduct as a White House doctor?
If you're a White House doctor in this situation, I think you would certainly discuss it with the president and talk about the pros and cons. I think if you then ask, well, if President Biden says, well, if I'm your father, which patients often do, you know, what would you recommend? I think the fact is that most White House doctors would recommend getting the test. And again, the evidence is, look at President Obama, President Bush, younger than President Biden, and they both got the test.
Wow. So, like I said, that right there tells you everything you need to know. So, Morning Joe was just pretty much stunned about the whole thing. It's like, my God. And they knew about this, didn't say anything. And like I said, this doctor said this could have been at the start of his presidency in 2021. And they covered up because they wanted Joe to remain in office. Not only that, they threw him back out there against President Trump, like I said, before kicking him out and throwing Kamala Harris in it. And like I said before, they wanted Joe Biden to still be president because they were just going to kick him out once he announced that he had prostate cancer, that was going to just install Kamala Harris like they installed him and kicked Joe Biden out after that debate. So that right there was their plan the whole entire time. And how do the mainstream media feel? Because like I said before, we don't wish anything, as much as we disagree with Joe Biden, much as we say he the worst president ever, I never wish anything bad for that man. I don't wish cancer on anybody, not even my worst enemies. But it's just the fact that these people on the left, these Democrats, lied about it and covered it up. Even President Trump came out and said, hey, I hope Joe get well. All Republicans has been speaking out saying that they hope Joe Biden get well. They ain't wishing nothing to happen to him. But it's different when it comes to the Democrat, because you got Democrats saying Donald Trump should have been shot. He should have been taken out. This is how Democrats talk. But you don't see Republicans doing that to Joe Biden. They ain't going to do that. I ain't going to do nothing like that. No matter how much I think he's like the worst president ever, I would never wish harm on that man. I would never wish anything bad to happen to him. I would never do that. So, like I said, y'all get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about all this. And like I said, thank you all for watching. I will keep y'all up to date as more information come out. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.